Hi, this is Ben from Teacher with Tech, and today I wanted to share a tech reflection on a tool that's been really amazing for me in helping me and aiding me with my graduate studies, and that is Microsoft OneNote. So, in terms of the academic usage of OneNote, I kind of use it as a way to aggregate and then be able to work with any learning materials that I need to. So, my experience in taking online classes is that really having a textbook for the class is really often um, not the standard way that we are assigned content. It's actually more likely that our instructors are kind of pulling together a collection of videos and online articles and PDFs taken from journals and other various sources. So the problem for me is how do I just manage all this reading and kind of keep it centralized and be able to take notes on it and highlight and do reflections on it and be able to interact with those materials in what becomes a meaningful way for me. So I use Microsoft OneNote for that, and it works really well for me. If you use something else like Google Keep or anything else, I'd love to hear from you about how that works for you. But let me show you how OneNote is working for me. So I have a graduate school notebook that I've created, and within that notebook, there's all sorts of different sections. So I have tabs for some of my different classes. You can see I've used it in different ways to kind of gather different articles together, do highlighting, things like that. You can also use OneNote on all sorts of different devices. So for instance, for this course, I was using it to draw mind maps after reading chapters out of a textbook. But I want to focus in on this class, my Emerging Information Technology class. I'm using OneNote very extensively in this class, so I've actually created a section group. So there are multiple of these tabs grouped together under one class. So if I click into the Emerging Info Tech section, I have class readings, expert research, and research for a project on Bitcoin. So you can see I have all these different articles collected into OneNote, and I'm even able to make a kind of master page for like a weekly section and then put all the content under that as subpages so it stands out a little bit. And the way that I'm getting all the material in here, let me go back to my browser, is I'm using the OneNote web clipper in Chrome, but this is also available for any of your other browsers like Safari, Firefox, etc. So when I have this article that I need to read, rather than just kind of trying to read it on the web and trying to just internalize whatever or taking notes offline, I just click the OneNote Clipper button. As you can see, it kind of collects that whole material from that article, and there's different ways that you can send it over to OneNote. So I could just do a bookmark. I could get the full page, which would send over. I could highlight a region. But my favorite is the article view because it does kind of put it in a very readable format and just strip out a lot of the annoying ads and sidebars and things like that. I can then choose to where I want to send it. So I have a variety of notebooks, as you can see, but I'm able to choose down to the level of a tab that's inside that group of tabs, and I would just click at this point. Whoops, we'll put that back to the article view. I would just click on clip, and it would send that right over to my notebook. I already have that in there, so I won't actually clip it. And it works very similarly for PDF articles as well. You can see this one is a PDF online, and the clipper will detect, hey, this is a PDF, and let me choose even which pages I want to send, and send that over as well. I can even do video as well. So if I have a YouTube video that I'm assigned to watch, it'd be as simple as, again, clicking on the clipper, and it's actually going to send that video right over when I click on clip. I want to show you one more thing too, though. I'm going to copy the share link out of YouTube, and I'll create a new page and give it a title in OneNote. And watch what happens when I paste in this YouTube video link. It actually becomes viewable right inside of OneNote, and I can play that back. Let me just make this a subpage really quickly just to keep it organized. So I can start playing this video back inside OneNote, and I can take notes on it right here.
with the use of Wikipedia, which has taught me so many things that I didn't know, and neither did you. Wikipedia has pages on everything. There's almost nothing. There was one thing I looked up but I couldn't find. I can't
You
remember.
can always
what it
pause,
is.
of course, and just take notes, but it's really handy to be able to do that right in the context of watching this video. And let me show you my expert research project. So I've been doing research on Stephen Levy, who is a IT kind of industry journalist that covers information technology and technology. So doing research on him, so I'm able to put different, find his work in different places and send it over to OneNote. And OneNote is available on all your different devices. So what I tend to do is actually to gather everything on my Mac, and I can, of course, I could do highlighting here and take notes here just using the keyboard. But what I tend to do is then go over to my iPad and then use a stylus to do the highlighting and some of the digital notes as well. And I've even been able to, as I do research, send videos over, just paste multiple videos in a page, and take notes using the stylus and using digital ink, which has been really cool for me. Another thing that I really like about doing it this way in OneNote as well is, let me get out of the highlighter view, go back into text mode. It makes everything searchable, which is really great. So this is all kind of stuck together, so I know where to look for everything. But if I can't find something, for instance, I know that there was a note in the Stephen Levy section about Google Buzz, which was kind of like a failed Google venture. So if I put that in as my search term, it's going to search actually all my notebooks, and so it will search the ones that I have open on the Mac and even anything else that I've created, even if it's not open in OneNote on the Mac, it's searching through the cloud where all my OneNotes are stored. So you can see Google Buzz is mentioned in a couple of these, so I know I'm looking for this one. And here's where I actually had written out Google Buzz. So even though I took this note not as a text note, but I wrote it in digital ink, it's still able to do OCR and find that text, which is pretty incredible. So that's kind of how I've been using OneNote. I'd love to hear from anyone viewing this video what you use as your digital note-taking solution to get yourself through school.